on. I'm the best, I'm the best, and you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get off, way up, get on, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold. I'm the best, and you know. And I got it, and I got it on my own. Get my way up, get off, way up, get on, go. If I touch it, then it's cold, then it's cold.
You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the proof. You gotta choose. Yeah, I jump out the booth. Then I might hop through the roof. Got all the rings. My team is the truth, but they some liars to you. And they never sing, but they always shoot. And all of their diamonds are new. And that's why I'm here with villain, cause I really get it. And I need all my honeys in blue. You gotta choose. You like the top or you just like to lose. Make a move. Been at the bottom, I got the...
Smack dab in the middle of I-295 that encircles the city of Jacksonville in northeast Florida. There's a good look at TIAA Bank Field. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Chicago Bears and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The first game's out of the way. Time to buckle down for the long season ahead, and we're off in week 2. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. They'll start on the ground. Etienne. And he's got some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot. 18 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football for triple option, you've actually called that play.
So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. Straight ahead, Etienne. And a lane slow and materializing there as he'll get maybe a yard up to the 45. Pretty good little 2-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or 2 because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
On 3rd down, Lawrence. That's complete to his running back, Kamara. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 43. Etienne up the middle. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. The Jaguars at 1-0 on the year following the win in Week 1. And they've gotten a pretty good deal from the schedule makers as well. Home dates in Weeks 1 and 2.
And I would believe that they would need to take advantage of that, partner, because as you can imagine, the road dates will pile up later this season. So this is a great opportunity for them to put some early distance on the rest of the division and create a little bit of a cushion for them for later in the year. Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On 3rd down, here's Etienne. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. He was trying to do anything he could to get that final little bit for the first down. Instead, he lost the ball.
Yeah, and he was short of the first down, but not by much. Trying his best, as you noted, to get there. Sometimes that extra effort can cost you.
And now, as with every potential turnover, they're going to take a second look at this just to make sure. So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble. The kick by Elliott is good. And the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Fields and the Bears now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. They begin the drive with Williams. And not a lot of daylight, not really any daylight inside, as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down. Well, this defense for the Jags, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
While you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is, because anytime you can tell your offense, just get us a couple of touchdowns, we got this thing locked down, that's when you know you're playing well.
Last play, they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And some room to roam now. They nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run-blocking abilities, and we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
Play action. It's Fields. He rifles one that's intercepted. And the Jaguars are going to have it here at their own 15. Before we came up to the booth, the last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
On 2nd down, ETN once more. And he takes us across the 15 to the 17. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Now Lawrence to throw. This one complete to Christian Kirk. And he will have a Jaguars first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number one receiver double covered, but how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
On 1st and 10, it's Etienne. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness. He's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. On play action, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. A very good kick there, but 15 yards on the return. And the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Back to throw. Fields. He's going to float this one deep right side. Touchdown, Bears! But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money. Extra point attempt here still to come. And this is up and good to make it 7-3.
Makes the score Bears 7, Jaguars 3.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
At their own 18-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. A last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
They had 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Yeah, this defense rallies, and they stop him short of the 1st down right near the 24.
The tackle made at the 24-yard line. A gain of 9. Fourth down.
Fourth down. Here's Lawrence. And he's got his big tight end here. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down.
And that's a big pickup of a first down. And you know that all week, both sides of the ball, offense and defense, are going through every situation. And in this case, the offensive guys had the right play dialed up because defensively, you work on fourth down situations as well.
And deflating for the defense. They can't get the stop here. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Lawrence going to fire it out wide, complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40. 2 minutes to play in his first half. 7-3, our score. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Lawrence. A quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Here's Lawrence. And looking for Kirk, but this pass is intercepted. And the Bears are going to have it here just past the 25. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw, or maybe the ball's tipped, or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result. All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
On 2nd down, Williams. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the 1st down. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. He's got a man, complete. They chalk that one up as a gain of 34 on 3rd down. Well, that certainly changes things.
Yeah, I think the thought process is they take this lead into the locker room, run something simple here and run the clock out. Instead, they get the big play. Now they have a chance to increase what they've done in the first half.
They give it to Williams, running right. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
So the 1st down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. Here's Fields. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. Here comes the Bears punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Final play of the half. It's Lawrence. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This will be fielded inside the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This offense set to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be... Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. 20, 10, touchdown, Chicago. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And nowhere to go. He only makes it to the 5.
Well, not exactly a banner return, so he doesn't give his offense a whole lot of room to work with. They've got to go a long way now to try and score some points. I do know this from experience. There will be a few comments muttered his way by the offense as they head out on the field.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
So the completion good for just 3, and that will bring up second down. Here's a give to Etienne. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bears are going to take possession of the football. This defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown the first half.
Touchdown! A great effort there. His second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Bears are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is up to 18 now.
Bears 21, Jaguars 3.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 2nd and 9, Lawrence. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. He couldn't get away. He'll wind up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Hey, exit. Hey, Alpha. Go, go. Hey, Echo.
And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And now possession will go over inside the 15-yard line. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Here's Fields. Touchdown, Bears! A great play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bears get another 3rd-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. So that pretty conclusively, I might add, shows you the perils of going for it and not making it on 4th down. One play, touchdown.
Yeah, and I've got to put this on the man in charge, the head coach. He made the decision to go for it. To me, when punting was the only decision to make, and it backfired on him in a big way.
The Bears send the kicking team out there, and they will send this one away. And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Now it's Kamara in the passing game. They find some open field here. And he steps out of bounds, but not before he gets inside the 35. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards. The offense has to love that because that was just a dump down, and then he turned something out of seemingly nothing.
And the best quarterbacks understand that dumping it down is often a good play, a better play than even what was drawn up.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells...
And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up 3rd. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Now Lawrence. He'll get this out to the flat for Etienne. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Down. Hey, stand off.
Lawrence will throw. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Jags come up empty on 4th down, and the Bears will get the football back. So that's the second time this game they've given it up on 4th down. They're now 1 for 3 on 4th down conversion tries.
But they must feel good about what they're doing, right? They continue to go for it on 4th down. Give the defense a lot of credit, though. They've stopped them 2 out of 3 times. Usually, you have 4th down plays that you have dialed up and ready to go, and you think are going to be successful. Not so far in this game.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Off play action, Fields. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Andre Cisco. And the Jags are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the 3rd quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day.
Well, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bears are going to get it back here just past the 35.
Partner's bad enough when you just can't hold on to the football. But when your quarterback's throwing it to the other team, that's 3 interceptions now, 4 turnovers for the game. You really have no chance to win the football game.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. One play action, Fields. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Partner, I think he's got to be careful as he continues to try to extend plays because he's already been intercepted in this game. And the coverage, they continue to challenge all of his receivers downfield.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now Fields. Going for the deep ball. It's caught inside the 25. And they're going to be set up now with a ball at the 13-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Off the draw, here's Williams. And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Javonte Williams. His 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bears will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. Point after, right down the middle. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. From deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
On the set.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Lawrence to throw. He'll find Etienne out of the backfield. So just 3 yards on the completion there, and that'll make it second down. Looking to throw, Lawrence. Quick hitter here, it's complete. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
Ready.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. 3rd and 2, now Lawrence. Eluding the pressure right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
But one thing I do know, these guys on defense, they don't want this game to end. They're winning by multiple touchdowns. They shut down the opposing quarterback in a big way, and they're still picking up sacks as we approach the end of this one.
Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Eddie Jackson picks it, and the Bears are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. A play fake, now Fields to throw. And this one caught by Beasley. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45.
Well, they certainly spread the ball around so far, but they're definitely getting everyone involved now when you're throwing it to the fullback. Just shows how versatile this offense is and how everyone is a threat.
It's complete to Drake. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
He already did his primary job with an interception earlier, but here he gets a chance to be a pass rusher and takes on the challenge of blitzing and makes another big play. That's something to file away and maybe break out later in this one or in a future game.
He's got his tight end. It's Albert Okwuegbunam. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Finding Williams on the check down. And they'll work this down inside the 30. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble.
Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score.
Ready?
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He'll drop this one off with Etienne. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They go play action now. Lawrence. And now here is another interception. And the Bears are going to take over here up near the 40. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, huh? Because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see the scoreboard, they see what they can accomplish, and they went for it.
Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll try and run down some clock with Wood. And he lost the football. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game. And ball security hasn't been an issue. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. So possession still theirs, but now they face a third down. On the counter, here's Williams. And he gets it down to the 48, enough for the first. 111 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. Things looking much rosier for him here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with...
I come alive in the dark.